next guest is Carolyn Gross, author of Rise Above the Chaos, How to Keep Positive in an Unsettled World. Rise Above the Chaos serves as a self-help tool that shows readers how to become calm, centered, and poised in the midst of a non-stop crisis world. Carolyn, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
You've said that burnout used to be the exception. Now it's the norm. How can people stay competitive in the 24/7 world without burning out?
Well, first of all, they need to know their own stress symptoms. They need to be able to calibrate when they're in the optimum zone and when they're starting to derail. Because that's the point where they've got to introduce some self-care and timeout measures. As I say on the back cover of the book, in today's world, where is the space for self?
Right, and I like that sound of the timeout. I would like,
yes.
Sometimes I want to put myself in timeout. You talk about crisis reserve account to stay emotionally healthy. What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people, and I was at fault of this, I burned out at the age of 28 before the digital age and the 24/7 work world existed. So, of course, what I had to find was a way to offer time out, but make it proactive and ambitious, okay? Like I was depositing in an account that would later propel me forward, but I had to step back in order to do it.
Gotcha. So how has your life changed for the better now that you've learned how to manage the chaos?
Well, I call chaos the great teacher, because changes, uncertainty that we hear all the time now in that 24/7 work world, we enter the world the minute we pick up our phones. So that's the question, where is the space for self? But how it's changed for me is I now realize I have two types of people in my life. I have friends and I have teachers. And so when something isn't going my way, I've learned how to say, this is the great next teacher for me, if it's a circumstance or an individual, and then harness the joy of learning and overcoming. As I like to say, turning obstacles into opportunities.
I love that. Very well put. Carolyn, for the viewers and readers at home, how can they stay in touch with you?
Please, at my website, carolyngross.com, and in case you're not sure if you need to rise above the chaos and buy this book, I have a 10-step stress response test. So it's actually 10 questions, but it'll let you know if you need some help with it.
Congratulations on the book. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.